Clay soil is one of the biggest frustrations a gardener can face. It bakes rock hard in the summer, turns slick and sticky in the rain, and, honestly, it just resists almost every attempt to break it down into something workable. Many gardeners throw endless compost, gypsum, or bags of amendments at it, only to be disappointed with slow or minimal results. But there's a little-known technique that can speed up clay transformation, and it doesn't involve chemicals or endless digging. It starts with something as simple as boiling water. When poured directly onto stubborn clay before mulching, boiling water creates a surprising chain reaction that makes the soil more open, crumbly, and ready to absorb organic matter. Clay particles are tiny, tightly packed, and negatively charged. That charge makes them cling to each other and to nutrients, which is why clay is often nutrient-rich, but, well, kinda impossible to access. When boiling water is poured over compacted clay, the intense heat rapidly expands the particles and kills off the surface weed seeds, fungal spores, and compacted root fibers that hold the soil locked in place. This thermal shock creates microfractures on the soil surface, breaking apart crusts that normally resist rainfall or compost tea penetration. Instead of bouncing off or pooling on top, water and nutrients begin to seep into the loosened upper layers. Another overlooked benefit is sterilization. Clay soil is often choked with aggressive weeds that compete with crops and rob moisture. A single treatment with boiling water clears the top layer without herbicides, leaving a blank slate that's far more receptive when you follow up with mulch or organic inputs. Pouring boiling water alone won't fix clay for the long term. If left bare, the soil surface will quickly harden again once it dries. So the secret lies in following up right away with organic mulch. After pouring the water, you want to spread a layer, about 2 to 3 inches thick, of straw, shredded leaves, or even cardboard sheets directly on top. Here's what happens next. The steaming effect actually pulls organic matter and moisture into those microfractures that were created by the hot water. Instead of the mulch just sitting on top of an impenetrable surface, it bonds with the loosened clay, setting the stage for microbial and worm activity. For example, one gardener working with dense red clay poured 2 kettles of boiling water per square yard of soil, then immediately spread shredded banana leaves and grass clippings. Within about 2 weeks, the surface had softened, and earthworms were already tunneling beneath the mulch. What once repelled roots had begun to crumble and allow planting holes to be dug with minimal effort. The process is simple, but must be done carefully. Bring a pot or kettle of water to a rolling boil. For every square meter of stubborn clay, pour about 3 liters of boiling water evenly across the surface. You want to soak the top 1 to 2 inches, not flood it. Work in sections so the soil is still steaming when you lay down mulch. Immediately cover with 2 to 3 inches of organic matter. If using cardboard, overlap sheets so no soil is exposed, then wet them down thoroughly to encourage softening. So, you'll want to repeat this treatment once at the start of the season, and then again mid-season if, compaction returns. Over time, the boiling water really acts like a reset button, softening those surface layers, so organic matter can actually get in and do the deeper work of restructuring the clay. A lot of gardeners just assume that dumping compost on clay will fix it, but honestly, clay really resists absorption. Compost often just sits right on top, drying into a crust or even washing away when it rains. By loosening up the soil structure first with boiling water, you actually make pathways for compost, mulch, and microbes to settle in and do their job. This whole process really speeds up the natural process of humus formation. Within 1 season, areas treated this way show more visible improvement than untreated beds loaded up with, twice as much compost. The real magic appears over multiple seasons. As mulch breaks down, worms pull softened fibers into the clay, expanding those microfractures created by the boiling water. Roots penetrate deeper with less resistance, and water infiltration improves dramatically. What began as a hardened, lifeless patch slowly transforms into friable, moisture-retentive soil. By the second or third cycle, you'll notice clay clods that once baked into bricks now crumble in your hands. This method also reduces weed pressure. Because boiling water kills dormant seeds at the surface, fewer unwanted plants sprout through your mulch. That gives your chosen crops less competition and more access to nutrients. What makes this technique so effective is that it really aligns with those lazy gardening principles. Instead of endless digging, double digging, or hauling in amendments, you just use the power of heat and mulch to do the heavy lifting for you. A few kettles of boiling water and a pile of mulch can achieve in just a few weeks what could take months or even years with compost alone. It's an approach that saves time, reduces strain, and honestly, lets nature carry the transformation forward once the initial barrier is broken. So, if you've been battling stubborn clay and compost hasn't delivered the results you hoped for, try pouring boiling water on the surface before laying down your mulch. The change will surprise you, and the improvement season after season will remind you that sometimes the simplest, least expected methods are actually the most powerful. Don't forget to subscribe to HydroHaven for more practical, tested soil revival methods. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are tired of fighting with clay. Because honestly, this simple secret could save them years of frustration and open the door to healthier, more productive soil.